Hey everybody, welcome back to a movie review time where we geek out about a movie we just saw, and we just saw Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I can't. Dun, 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 dun.
That sounded like a sick Wookiee.
Yeah, that's my new punk band, Sick Wookiees. So this is our spoil. Okay, we're not critics, we're not movie critics, we just love movies, we love to talk about movies. So that's what this is. I wouldn't say so much a review as this is definitely a geek out. And go back and watch the no spoiler video. Let me go ahead and do this. Spoiler warnings. I'm going to say spoilers now, so while I'll tell you this next thing, you can click out of the video if you have to jump out of the shower or something. But this is going to be our all spoiler talk, so if you don't want spoilers, get out of here. And we jump all over the place, so if you're only looking for a little bit of spoilers, we might start spoiling the end before we even know it. Just so you know. So while I'm waiting for you to click out, let me just tell you, go back and watch the no spoiler video. I have a link in the description below. That gives you our overall opinions of this film. Plus, you get a lot of history of our background, like how I just recently watched every single Godzilla movie ever made leading up to this for the first time, most of them. And she's pretty much only seen the Americanized ones, so, which is great, because it gives us the dual perspective. So obviously I'm fanboying a lot harder than she would be about this. So,
I think I've actually seen Mothra.
Oh, you've seen the original Mothra? I have not. There's a steelbook about to come out. I'm waiting on that.
Because I'm sitting here going, like, I think that the twins are supposed to be associated with Mothra.
Yes.
The little singing girls.
Points. Oh, man. All right, so you've been had plenty of time to get out for spoilers. So let's start talking about this. Starting with, they actually kind of did the Mothra...
About the alien invasion. Which is entirely wrong for once.
No. Did you not pick up...
Yeah, no, I know. I was making a joke, sweetie.
Wait, what do you mean by it's entirely wrong for once? Because...
Which is not. There was a not in there. Which is not entirely wrong for once. Because usually
I follow.
That's our joke.
I got you.
We open up with saying...
No, I know. You just made me think maybe you missed that about them talking about... Because I was going to go into the Mothra twin stuff, but now you got me going on about the Ghidorah is actually not from Earth. They actually set up aliens. And they call him fucking Monster Zero. They call him fucking Monster Zero. The first movie he ever showed up in is Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. He was Monster Zero before he was revealed as King Ghidorah, or 100 other pronunciations of that. But, well, no, it's a thing. It's not, okay. There's really a thing about it.
I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah, but that, like, again, that's one of those things, like, I'm just geeking the fuck right out watching this.
It's really hard to joke with him when he's doing that.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited and so passionate. I'm so satisfied from this. And we said it in the other one, just in case you didn't see it. Like, I Avengers Endgame cried in this thing out of just
How many
nerd.
tissues did you go through?
It's about a 6-tissue movie. I thought about that when you asked me. It's like, I should start reviewing movies by how many tissues. And I thought, that's the wrong kind of review system for the wrong kind of movies. And then I'm thinking, oh man, there is like a pile of tissues in my lap as everybody's leaving. I was like, it's not exactly what you think. I mean, it kind of is. But anyways. But yeah, so that was so cool that they did the Monster Zero thing and that Ghidorah was actually from not of this Earth. I thought that was awesome, and the way they did that, which means they could go into all that astral stuff.
It explains why the oxygen bomb didn't work, because if he can go through space,
she's just jumping right.
Doesn't need.
I don't think again, where you don't know the movies, you don't know how, like, you're just jumping to like these major key things that like I want to talk about, but you're just like nonchalant. The oxygen bomb. It's like they fucking did the oxygen destroyer.
Okay, so where did that one come from?
The original fucking thing, which, by the way, Ken Watanabe, did they name him in the 2014 movie? Because I don't remember if they called him Dr. Serizawa, but that is who created the oxygen bomb in the original movie. It's a very tragic story, because the original Godzilla is, like, very tragic, the actual Japanese movie.
Okay.
And really somber, and it's fantastic. If you haven't seen it, it holds up.
Well, it's Japan working through its being bombed twice.
It really is, and it's an amazing movie. But that, yeah, like, if you heard, like, that's where I could tell where the super fans were with me, like, in the row behind us, because as they said, the oxygen destroyer, they were just like me, they were like, oh! They didn't do that. But you could hear the sharp intake of, no, I'm good. Okay. You could hear the sharp I did not have to stop talking. You can hear the sharp intake of air of, oh my God, the oxygen, you know, like, they knew, and it's like, it's so good. I mean, they did it a little differently, because it's actually a missile, but, you know, I mean, they kind of had to modernize it and make it work for this movie, but that was so cool that they actually tied that in. You saw the fishes come up and their carcasses start rotting away, and you think they killed Godzilla, but of course Ghidorah didn't get got. So it's like, oh my God, what the holy shit.
And then they go, oh, well, it's apparently not from around here.
Yeah, right. But I thought that was brilliant, and what a brilliant way to kind of start piecing all that together and figuring out, oh, he's not a natural alpha predator on this earth and everything. So that was so cool. And Godzilla even rips one of its heads off early on, and I started geeking out because I'm like, oh, are we gonna get a Mecha Ghidorah head? Like I can't. All the movies are blending together on me right now. I can't remember which one that happened in. I think that was in the Heisei era. But I think that was
some mecha. Yeah, I think I have seen.
That was Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, I believe, wasn't it? I don't remember. I've only seen them once. I'm working on it. But that was so cool. And then Mothra, where we started, I wanted to go back to. They set up the twins. Bear McCreary's music. We'll come back to it. The theme. So cool. But they set up the twins because the ladies, like my mom, and like you saw the mom with a twin and like 61 on like this island. I forget what island they called it, but I was like, oh, and then they show like the whole family. She's like, yeah, my family it's like generations of twins, mostly women. I'm like, oh my God.
I think they were all women.
Yeah, I think so too. And then they did not do the singing, which I'm happy for, but at the same time, I would have been kind of excited if they did. I got real annoyed with that in the movies.
Well, I think they didn't do the singing because they were already doing the Sonic thing with Orca.
That makes sense too. Yeah, I can get with that. But you know what? They didn't flat out say it, but they hinted at the psychic connection because they had the lady later kind of do this thing where she could like sense Mothra before Mothra showed up. I don't remember exactly how it went down. I was too excited to commit it to memory. I can't wait to see it again.
I think we mean when Mothra was actually emerging from the cocoon.
Yes, I think that's when it was, maybe. No, I think this is a different part.
She was out there just staring at it.
Well, that was one of it. But I think she might have been the twin of the other girl.
She was.
Okay, yeah. So there was later in the movie.
Same actress is playing both those characters.
And later in the movie, there was a moment I noticed with the Mothra. Well, they're both Monarch people, but with the short hair one, kind of having this psychic moment with Mothra, and then Mothra even like gives up its life to turn into like the
pixie dust.
Yeah, the pixie dust that helps bring Godzilla back to life, like straight out of the fucking movies. I'm like, are you shitting me with this? This is the best, most perfect fan service.
They killed the prettiest monster.
I know, it's sad. But they also did Worm. They didn't just jump right to winged Mothra. They actually did the egg into the worm version and caterpillar, whatever, and spitting, the webs at everybody, which was really funny in the early days when it looked kind of naughty. It's like, yeah, that's a Godzilla's having a bukkake party with Mothra. I mean,
oh God.
That's what it was. I mean, I couldn't help that joke initially. It looks better. It looks good in this movie. Obviously, it's a little more webbish, but
it's a lot more webbish.
I know, but I was so stoked they actually did that. They did. There's nothing in here, at least, I mean, maybe some hardcore fans can find something, but there's nothing in here that I feel insults the fandom. It is so true to its roots and what, I know, like, at least me as a fan wanted to see in this movie. And even Bear McCreary's music. He recreates the original themes for Mothra, for Godzilla, and I'm sure some others, because I was trying to listen, but, I'm going to go home and rock the soundtrack for sure. But with his own spin, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I know the tracks have been out for a little bit, but I wanted to wait and experience it with the movie first, and I'm glad I did, because in IMAX, seeing Godzilla just rise, like that theme starts before he just rises out of the ocean, and it's just bum, 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 bum. Bob, 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 bob. Like, I was wetting my pants. That's why the tissues were actually in the crotch. No. But, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And Rodan looked awesome.
Science Mary is going, I don't think Rodan can do a barrel roll, but... I just popped something in my shoulder.
Oh. Ironically, right where Rodan got stabbed, too. Are you okay? Is there Mothra? Ghost Mothra? But I liked that it was kind of volcanic rock almost a little bit. And like that his wings kind of stayed kind of on fire the whole time. He was built of lava inside. Which again, they never really got too much into that in the Godzilla films that I recall. But maybe they do that in the Rodan movie. I don't know. Or at least talk about it. But I thought that was some really, really great stuff. And getting to see Mothra versus Rodan. So like, it was like the two fights in one, and those wide shots were they're fighting over here, and Godzilla and Ghidorah are fighting over here.
One of the things that I want to know though is, so all these things have been hibernating, and Ghidorah is like in freaking ice. I'm like, how the hell did you even get there?
Which I believe it's GMK. I believe it's Ghidorah, Mothra, and King Ghidorah all out giant all-out monster attack. I think they did that in that one. I think that's the one, right? Where they discover Ghidorah has been frozen in ice under there. Well, that's a story for another time. They can do the in-betweenquels now.
It's just like, and it's like, okay, how did you get the city in Hollow Earth? Because it's all underwater.
We'll talk about that after we pay these bills. We'll be right back. Okay, so the city underneath, like, I don't, fuck your science. I'm not trying to explain your science. I don't know. But that's another awesome fucking geek call-out movie. I believe it is it Megalodon, I believe, with the Atlanteans, like the city underneath that were pissed and they sent Megalodon out to destroy us because, you know, we were destroying their ecosystem.
Like, as in the shark? Megalodon?
No.
That's the name of an actual shark species.
It's not Megalodon, then it's Megadon. I can't keep them straight, but it's a really goofy, awesome one.
Because remember the Meg?
Yeah, I know what Megalodons are. I'm trying to picture the cover and the title, and you guys, again, I'm new to the Godzilla-ness. The names haven't stuck with me yet, but you know, so I mean, just politely let me know. You can correct me if you want, because I'm just obviously geeking out. Like, I remember the movie, I just may have the words wrong. But I thought, what an awesome nod to that. And I thought maybe we would have seen that monster. Because that's my nitpick is, nitpick, for real. It's really only Mothra, King Ghidorah, Rodan in terms of major recognizable monsters. And there's a Muto from the 2014.
Yeah.
But then there's one that might be Angulosaurus, I can never pronounce it. Godzilla's buddy. No, he has a name. It's not a dinosaur name. It's from like Godzilla Raids Again and a whole bunch on. It's Godzilla's buddy. He might have been in there. They could confirm or deny that. And then there was the spider one that I cannot remember. He's been in a couple of them.
The spider, sort of the octopusy.
Yeah. You kind of have almost Cthulhu. Yeah. So I'm wondering if that was supposed to be the actual one. Because again, if we go back and if I can pause and look at all the names on the screens, I might be able to figure that out.
There was that weird mammoth thing?
Yeah, I don't know what that one is. If that's a kaiju that existed or if that's one that was made for this movie.
They had that like as part of the opening thing.
Yeah, showing like all the kaiju that have shown up since Godzilla. And I love that they started in 2014. We get another perspective, another look at 2014, kind of setting up some of the human characters, which we haven't even talked about yet. But by
the way, the Hollow Earth thing.
Oh yeah,
that was the one scene that I almost got misty-eyed with Watanabe's character.
Oh, when he sacrificed himself, he got to touch Godzilla. Yes. Oh, that was so beautiful. But also the Hollow Earth thing. I don't know how well you can remember Skull Island, but they made reference to John Goodman's character and how they can't believe his Hollow Earth theory had come true. So I thought that was so cool.
Okay, so I can't remember what John Goodman's character's name.
I can't remember it now, but
I don't really remember him talking about Hollow Earth.
Yeah, like that was his crackpot theory. Actually, maybe it wasn't John Goodman's character. Maybe it was the guy who played Heath on Walking Dead. I can't think of his name. Maybe it was his theory because he was like the assistant to John Goodman, and John Goodman was the one that believed his theory, and John Goodman was the one and said, "But there's monsters down there."
Now, Kong took place in the 70s, right?
Yes.
During Vietnam.
Yes.
Okay.
So it'd be like 40, 50 years, I guess, or more. Since then, which also I like that, like they're like increased monster activity on Skull Island, like as if all the monsters are going to Skull Island. So I guess Skull Island is going to be their monster island in this. Can't remember what that monster that island's
like
called.
The monsters were coming up from underground. Okay. Yeah.
Which might kind of explain why Kong is like, what the fuck is this? Bitch,
it's like playing whack-a-mole.
Bitch, get off my lawn. You know? If anything, again, one of my only other little nitpicks is maybe they did a little too heavy on the Kong tie-in setup.
I'm sitting here going, as much as you're mentioning him, just show him once.
They did, very briefly.
No, they didn't.
They had one shot of him like from behind walking away. That's actually from Skull Island. It wasn't a new shot. It's very brief. It's like on a computer monitor, but
yeah. Wasn't that part of a real thing though? It wasn't actually real time.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You wanted to actually see him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, they did not do that then. Yeah. But they did mention him in Skull Island a lot. They were leaning hard into that. But again, I don't mind. It's just that's one of my only little couple of nitpicks about this.
So King Kong's had a few more decades to get bigger. Okay, so that crossover might actually work. But even so, Godzilla does not have a breath weapon.
King Kong does not have a breath weapon.
Yeah, sorry.
That's
God.
right. That's
It's
right.
like-
They can shove trees into each other's mouths. It's a gif I love using from actual King Kong versus Godzilla. Eat your vegetables. But
It's 1:30 in the morning.
I know,
That's well past my bedtime.
we're getting there. I can probably get to this in about 5 more minutes. You knew this was gonna be a late one, and I
I
appreciate you doing it. You wanted to see Rocket Man, so I did too. But I would. But anyways, God, what else? There's so much else I want to talk about too, because there's so much. Well, let's talk a little bit about the human characters. I thought everybody was enjoyable and great. Fuck Millie Bobby Brown's mom.
Yeah.
I'm glad she died.
Well, at first
Go ahead.
Okay, at first I thought we were being misled by the advertising because it sounded like she was a terrorist, but she's kidnapped at the beginning. It's like,
Right.
oh, so she's being forced into this. This is like a prepared speech that she has to give.
Right.
And it's like, oh, no, she's really in on this crap. Okay.
Yeah, and then I was worried they were going to try and give her a redemption arc, but I'm like, fuck that.
Well, she did.
Well, not really. But I mean, they did it enough to where it's not annoying, but it's like, yeah, kill her, because even if she ends up regretting the plan and like it got out of hand and much bigger.
Yeah, karma bit her in the ass.
Yeah, it's like she still was part of a plan to cause the extinction of millions of people, so fuck her. But Charles Dance surviving and everything, I think that's cool. That little post-credit scene.
Charles Dance doesn't do a whole lot. He's like,
I think he was
there's
really
a couple
set
times
up.
where I'm surprised that he's just like, he's just going like, you're gonna let her talk to you like that?
But I think that's what it is. I think they kind of let him play against type a little bit in the sense that you expect him to snap and just start killing people, and he really doesn't. He's just kind of like, no, we got what we need. We're good. But then, I like that they've set him up to come back, and they have that Ghidorah head at the end and everything.
Oh my god. So, by the way, Godzilla's finishing move with Ghidorah, that was like Mortal Kombat level excessive.
I just want to say one more thing about the human things, and I got to get into the ending there about Godzilla. And Millie Bobby Brown was really great. And she did not play 11, which I really appreciated. I felt like they really did give her a different character, and she was really good with it. Because I thought they might do the Mothra psychic thing with her, and I was like, But no. The end. I've said this, and it still is, unless this takes its place, but I have to think about it. But my favorite Godzilla film is Godzilla versus Destoroyah. And my favorite design of Godzilla is Burning Godzilla from that movie. They fucking do Burning Godzilla in this movie, and I was dying. I mean, it's an extreme version of it, but that's the whole thing. Like, he's an atom bomb himself, and he's gonna blow, and he's gonna, be his own atom bomb, and he's like glowing red as he gets hotter, and shit just melts around him because he's putting off so much radioactive heat. They fucking did it. They did that, and it's beautiful, and it's brilliant. And then he discharges, and it takes care of most of Ghidorah. Ghidorah's like, what the fuck? And Ghidorah's melting away, kind of the way Godzilla did in the original movie. And it's just like, I had heard rumors about a toy with Burning Godzilla, but I'm like, well, that's like one of the cheaper toys. So you know how they do like Batman ice suit, you know what I mean? So I was like, it's probably nothing, but they actually did it, and it's beautiful.
But Godzilla rips off the final head.
You think it's the head of Ghidorah coming back? Like,
up,
he's not dead. Fuck.
But he's the neck is Godzilla's got like the head by the end of the neck, and he does a final atomic discharge and blows it out of Ghidorah's mouth, and it's like.
That was so
That's
cool.
excessive.
That was so cool, though. That was so cool.
It was cool, but it was excessive.
And then all the monsters surround him and bow before him, all regal. And they have that last fucking glorious shot of him on the mound. Just, yeah.
I was actually, when Rodan showed up, Godzilla gave him a look like, yes, take his ass out for beating up your girlfriend, because...
And Mothra will be back. I'm pretty sure they set that up because they said giant egg in the credits is one of the things. Giant egg discovered, so I'm sure we got another Mothra.
That could be any number of things.
Well, historically, Mothra is pretty much the only of the Godzilla universe monsters that I can remember that comes from an egg. So, Mothra almost always starts with an egg and then becomes the caterpillar.
But the things from the 2014 movie were laid eggs.
That's a good point. Okay, I forgot about that, but I'm pretty sure it was meant to be... It's kind of a thing, so I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what that was. Oh, and then while I'm thinking about it, in the end credit, the one thing that made me giggle was something about could the giant, because they call them titans, not kaijus, but could Titan waste be the future energy source? So it's like, oh my god, Godzilla shit is going to power cities now, which is great. I fucking love like little details like that. That's so cool.
Do you think they don't call them kaiju because they use that name in Pacific Rim?
That's possible. Which, by the way, same companies. So technically, Pacific Rim could end up tying into this someday if they wanted to. So.
Well, they did it sort of an alternate universe sort of thing with the portals, so they could theoretically.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways to do it. So we'll see. At least a comic book. But yeah, man, and just the cinematography. Oh, and the shot that I really love, the one that I fucking adore, is the one where Ghidorah goes to town on that electric plant in the middle of Boston, and then just wings out, and the electric is just shooting everywhere.
Yeah, basically Ghidorah cast chain lightning.
Yeah, like it zapped like almost every helicopter and plane. Like for the next 5 minutes, like helicopters and planes are just falling out of the sky like just casual rain all around him. Oh, that was badass.
You know, I would never, ever be a pilot for Monarch because I don't think they have a very long lifespan.
No, you don't fan too well. Oh my God, how about the one jet fighter that fucking ejected out of his cockpit right into Rodan's mouth? I was like, yes. And then they did and they even referenced the Three Stooges with Ghidorah's head, but I did get worried at first when they had like the one dumb head on Ghidorah that the middle head kept like giving crap, like, knock it off.
So they had 3 different actors.
Luckily, they calmed that down, is my point. Because I was like, don't go too funny with it, guys.
Well, I actually read a review about or interview about this. It's like they had 3 different actors playing the 3 different heads.
Okay.
The one on, let's see, when you're looking at him head on, the one on the left is sort of like the aggro head. The one on the right is the curious head. Because that's what he was doing. He's kind of like, hey, what are these things?
Okay, that makes sense.
He's kind of like, can I eat them? And meanwhile, like the middle head's sort of like the big brother boss head.
Okay.
And then that's why he's like, you stop fooling around.
Nice. Yeah, I don't like to watch stuff like that before I see the movie myself, but but now you have the insight, so cool.
Yeah. But,
oh God, it looks so good, man.
Let's see.
Any
other Easter eggs that you picked up on?
I know. I was gonna say I'm sure there's like a billion other things that I want to throw out there. It's going to be like you always say, you know, how you always think of like 10 things as we're driving home after this. That's what's going to be my problem. And maybe I'll do another review after I see it the second time because I got to see this again. I got to see it in 3D. I still can't believe our Regal booked it in IMAX.
Yeah, I can see some things where the 3D would have been really cool.
Yeah.
But to me, it looked a little fuzzy in places, the 2D. And I'm wondering if it's because...
I don't know that I got that, but I may have had trouble seeing through the tears.
No, there's a couple places where it's like, that looks fuzzier than it should.
Well, that might also just be it got late in your tire. I don't know.
No, it's not that.
But yes, thank you everybody involved for a phenomenal experience, a great time. I mean, it's total summer popcorn. You know, you're not going to come out of this with a deeper understanding for anything you didn't already see in 1,000 other movies or even in 33 other Godzilla films. But it's just so perfectly done. So perfectly done.
Any chance of it doing anywhere near as well as Endgame?
No. Oh God, no. I mean, financially, no. I mean, Endgame, they had to book double. They had to like double all the opening weekend screenings and have theaters start booking like 2:30 a.m. screenings. This is not as popular, but I think this is going to do really well. And they're already making Godzilla versus Kong, so that's happening. But in one way or another, we're going to keep getting Godzilla movies because, you know, in the off years, there's the deal with Toho and Legendary, they can only make Godzilla movies when the other one's not.
Okay.
So, so when these take a hiatus, we'll get back to the Toho stuff and vice versa, I assume. So, but they've nailed this, and I think it's going to do really well. I think this will be the #1 movie this weekend. I think this is going to beat out Rocket Man. It should. It's more summer than Rocket Man. You know what I mean? More big popcorn summer blockbuster. Hey, let's go watch some monster fights for a couple hours, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good date movie, too. There's some good scares.
I'm still having trouble wrapping my mind around King Kong versus Godzilla because King Kong basically just stays on Skull Island. So why does Godzilla need...
You don't think that maybe they would somehow, like, track him or trap him or bring him... I mean, let's put it this way. They flew him with balloons to Godzilla in the original movie. It's, like, so ridiculous. So let's just wait to worry about that till that movie happens.
I know, I'm just trying to think of it. Well, the thing is, this movie did a fair job of trying to make it somewhat plausible.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting here going, how do you... Now I could see Godzilla showing up Skull Island because all the other monsters are there. Right. Just going, hey, guys, break it up. And Kong said, oh,
I'm the king around here. That's why they call me King Kong. Actually, could be something to that. But yeah, no, this was great. If you like Godzilla at all, you're already seeing this movie. You don't even give a shit about me telling you to. Then go see it a bunch, because this needs to make a lot of money, and I want to see many, many, many more of these in IMAX. That'll be the only thing, is if it just goes to just Toho and doesn't do well in America, we won't get like big IMAX ones anymore, which really makes a big difference. You know, that giant screen and everything. Yeah, I really felt that. All right, you got anything else? I'm sure I'll think of a billion things, but...
No, not
All right,
really.
cool. Well, there you go. There's our spoiler talk. Definitely let us know, what was your favorite part about the movie? How do you feel about it? All that kind of stuff. Geek out with us in the comments. We look forward to hearing what you have to say. Also, check out my Stardust channel. Look up TheEricButts, or use the link in the description below, and you can see my reviews of every single Godzilla film I watched over the last few months. And yeah, you can also click the thumbs up button. Give us the good old thumb of encouragement, as we do love to be encouraged. And I guess now we're going to get out of here, take her home so she can sleep, and watch some more stuff. We'll see you all later.